It's been revealed that Prince Andrew hosted the late ex-offender Jeffrey Epstein as well as Ghislaine Maxwell and Harvey Weinstein at the Royal Lodge, the publicly owned home where he effectively lives rent-free after he paid for its renovation.
Today we dive into the rising tension inside Royal Lodge. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has made a startling new demand to his former wife, Sarah Ferguson, just as they prepare to leave the Windsor residence they've lived in for over 2 decades. Reports claim Sarah feels furious, embarrassed, and more isolated than ever, while Andrew withdraws further into silence after losing his prince title and facing what many describe as an internal exile. But this situation goes far beyond a household in turmoil. For the first time, insiders are pulling back the curtain on the real dynamics behind Andrew and Sarah's unusual relationship. Why did she remain for so many years? What information does she hold? Why did Andrew keep her so close despite her controversies, financial troubles, and constant drama? And why are both of them suddenly stepping back into the dating world now? Sources say they're both open to finding love, with Andrew even joking about joining dating apps. Before we jump in, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in this ongoing saga. According to new reports from Women's Day, Andrew has informed staff at Royal Lodge that he doesn't want Sarah Ferguson anywhere near him. This demand allegedly left Sarah outraged and deeply wounded. She is described as lonely, upset, and unsure why Andrew is abruptly distancing himself after decades of connection. This comes only weeks after King Charles officially stripped Andrew of his prince title, a blow that has left him withdrawn and increasingly sensitive about everything around him. Along with the looming forced eviction from Royal Lodge, insiders say Andrew has grown colder, more direct, and far less patient with Sarah's presence. For Sarah, the rejection cuts deeply, not only because she depended on him emotionally, but because Royal Lodge was her home, her security, and the final remaining symbol of the life she built within the royal world.
Reports around how Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, of course formerly known as Prince Andrew, is spending his final days at Royal Lodge, and he's said to be ranting to himself.
Andrew is expected to relocate to a smaller residence on the King's private Sandringham estate in the coming year. This move is being described as his quiet internal exile, a life of near-complete isolation, far from Windsor and far removed from any public royal duties. Inside Royal Lodge, the situation has worsened. Staff say the two now live entirely separate lives in different sections of the mansion. They only cross paths occasionally at mealtimes, and even then, their conversations are said to be tense, emotional, and filled with anxiety about what the future holds. Sarah is reportedly in a state of panic. She fears for her daughters, her upcoming living situation, and her financial survival. Andrew, on the other hand, is focused solely on shielding himself as the consequences of his past finally close in on him. His mood is said to shift from moment to moment.
What's happening now? They're ranting claims. He's round there. He's had a meltdown at the manor, if you like. He's raging in the Royal Lodge. And it's probably the end of the party former prince. Apparently what's happening, he's ranting to himself.
In recent weeks, insiders say Sarah has become increasingly isolated inside the lodge. She reportedly retreats to her side of the house for most of the day or spends time at the pub located on their estate. There are claims that she has even asked staff to stay longer so she doesn't feel alone. She is described as anxious, scared, and unsure of where she will go once the lodge is no longer theirs. For a woman who built her entire post-divorce life around the royal household, this is a frightening new reality, and her next step remains a mystery. For decades, Andrew and Sarah were viewed as the royal pair who never truly separated. Though they divorced in 1996, they continued sharing the same home, the same routines, and at times the same public life. Their arrangement worked because it served both of their needs. Sarah offered warmth, familiarity, and companionship, while Andrew provided stability, protection, and a roof over her head. Together, they created a private bubble inside Royal Lodge that few outsiders understood. But the recent controversies, the Epstein fallout, the financial strain, and now the loss of Andrew's prince title have shattered the delicate balance they maintained for years. Their once united partnership has dissolved into distance, silence, and resentment. This leads to the deeper question: what was their relationship truly built on? Many have wondered why Sarah stayed by Andrew's side for so long. Their bond was unconventional, constantly scrutinized, and it survived more scandals than most public relationships ever could. There are several reasons behind her loyalty. First, Sarah relied heavily on the protection the royal household offered. Royal Lodge was her safe haven. It shielded her from financial ruin, constant media pressure, and the consequences of her own poor decisions. Second, she knows the truth about Andrew's private world. She was there during his years as a trade envoy. She knew the people he associated with, the favors granted, the trips taken, and the lifestyle that sparked questions. Staying close to Andrew also kept those secrets contained. She held leverage over him that she may have used to her benefit. Third, her finances were intertwined with his. She faced massive debts, risky business ventures, and public financial embarrassment. Andrew's presence provided the stability she couldn't secure on her own. Fourth, she wanted to safeguard her daughters. Remaining aligned with Andrew protected Beatrice and Eugenie's place within the royal family. And finally, she stayed because she feared the consequences of walking away. Leaving the royal bubble meant losing access, resources, and the security she depended on. Staying close to Andrew kept her afloat. For Sarah, loyalty wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. If Sarah's loyalty is one puzzle, Andrew's loyalty is an even deeper one. Why did he stay so close to a woman who brought decades of embarrassment, scandals, debts, and unpredictable behavior? The reasons are layered. First, she holds his secrets. She knows the full picture of his private activities. What he did, who he met, how he acted, and who he was connected to. Keeping her inside Royal Lodge ensured she remained silent. Second, they had a mutual protection pact. If one exposed the other, both would be exposed. Their silence protected them both. Third, Sarah was useful. She ran the household, provided emotional support, and stood by him even when everyone else cut ties. She made him feel understood and valued. Fourth, abandoning her would have made him look heartless, especially during the height of his scandals. Keeping her close softened his public image. And finally, they depended on each other. Over time, their bond became less about romance and more about survival. Neither functioned well without the other. For years, royal insiders have speculated about the secrets they both hold. Sarah's financial entanglements, her questionable friendships, her leaked emails calling Epstein her supreme friend, and her business decisions have drawn attention. Andrew's scandals need no explanation. Together they built a world of private deals, silent understandings, strange loyalties, and unspoken agreements. Their relationship kept everything contained. Now, with Royal Lodge collapsing around them, that containment is breaking apart. One of the most surprising developments in recent months is that both Andrew and Sarah are quietly exploring new romantic relationships. The timing matters. With Royal Lodge slipping away, the pact that held them together is weakening. Their lives are being forced onto separate paths. Their reliance on each other is fading. Dating again gives them emotional distance, shifts public focus, prepares them for separate futures, and lets them rebuild their personal narratives before the truth eventually surfaces. Some insiders believe their new dating lives might be a way to detach before one of them finally speaks out. Royal Lodge has become a symbol of everything falling apart. Staff feel uneasy. Friends stay away. The house is filled with tension and unanswered questions. Andrew hides in the shadows. Sarah wanders the halls in fear. Their shared meals are marked by whispered conversations, long pauses, and growing dread about what will happen when they finally hand over the keys. It is the end of an era, and they both know it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this story. Thank you for watching.